Here are a top 10 of incredible Irish cures from the Middle Ages. They are cures you would not want to try. See if you can guess what they are for. Cure number 10. We bury you up to the neck in wet river sand, and that cures headache. Cure number 9. We take a live frog and make you swallow it, and that cures you of stomachache. At number 8, we rub your side with salted butter and make the sign of the cross 7 times over the place where it hurts, and that cures a stitch in your side when you've run too fast. For number 7, you need wool and oily cloth. We cover your head with wool, then the oiled cloth. Water will be drawn out of the head, and when the cloth is soaked, you are cured of what? Water on the brain. There's an old joke that goes, I say, what cures water on the brain? And the answer is a tap on the head. You would never hear such a pathetic joke on a Horrible Histories recording, of course. For cure number 6, you need a blanket and a pig. To cure a sick child, wrap it in the blanket, take it to a pigsty, rub the child's head on the back of the pig, and the disease will pass from the child to the pig. What disease? The answer is mumps, a good old childhood illness that gets you a couple of weeks off school. You get swellings under your jaw and it's painful to swallow, but it could be worse. You could end up being rubbed over a pig, which doesn't seem very fair to the poor pig. Cure number 5. Take a branch from a gooseberry bush. Who put that there? Now, point the gooseberry thorn at your eye 9 times and say, away, 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 and that cures a stye, you know, the painful boil on the eyelid. If you squeeze it, you get an eyeful of gooey yellow pus. Cure number 4. Take soil from under the feet of men carrying a coffin at a funeral. Apply soil to the affected part and make a wish for it to disappear. And that cures warts. Cure number 3. Simply carry 2 jawbones of a haddock in your pocket and the pain of this will vanish. And that cures toothache. A nice painless way to prevent toothache, eh? Unfortunately, the fishy bits may start to smell and you will save on dentist visits, but you may lose all your friends who think you pong a bit. Cure number 2. Take carrigan moss from the beaches of Connemara. Mix the moss into the food or drink of someone you love, and that cures love sickness. Once they've swallowed the moss, they will fall in love with you. They may be a bit sick first. Mind you, the people of Connemara don't use the mystic moss for love. They use it to cure their sore throats. Finally, cure number 1. You need the skull from an Achill Island monk. Aha, here's one. And some boiled milk. For the cure, you simply pour the boiled milk into the skull, feed the milk from the skull to the sick person, and that cures fever. On Achill Island, there is a ruined monastery with a cave full of old monk bones. If someone in the family is ill with a fever, then the mother of the family must carry out the cure. It's very important that the mother should return the skull to the cave where she found it. Otherwise, the monk will come looking for it. Those Vikings brought horror to Ireland in the Dark Ages, but worse was to come. The Normans arrived in 1169. Who invited these storming Normans? Well, the Irish king Dermot. He lost his throne to another Irish king and asked the Normans from England to come and help him get it back. Bad move. Once the Normans arrived, they weren't gonna go home. Thanks, dumb Dermot. How nasty were the Normans? Well, look at the first lord to arrive. His nickname was Strongbow. In 1170, Strongbow's army landed in Waterford. They decided to terrorise the people into giving in, so they didn't simply execute 70 Waterford leaders, they took them to the Bag-in-Bun Head, chopped off their arms, legs and heads, and threw the bits into the creek. Nasty. But not as nasty as the story of Strongbow's son. Strongbow was shocked to hear his son was a coward. He said, "Better a dead son than a live chicken." So he took his sword and sliced his son in two. Yep, chopped him in half at the waist. And you thought your dad was nasty because he's mean with your pocket money. By 1290, the Irish had more to worry about than the Normans. There was a terrible famine across the land, and 25 years later the Scots were invading the north under King Robert the Bruce. 300 years after that, King Henry VIII sent an army across to Ireland. He called the Irish savages. He could talk. When he wrote down the list of his enemies, he called it a chopping list. The Irish weren't savages, of course, but they did have some cruel people among them. Take the case of the Kilkenny Witch.